Hello and welcome back. And today we're going to talk about step 3 in bringing AI into our classes. And this is where we require students to trace claims back to the original sources. Because once students learn how to think before they prompt and interrogate what comes back, the next discipline that we need to add is traceability. AI is great at producing claims, but it's far less reliable at revealing where those claims came from in the first place. This is where students often slip from, that critical engagement into a sort of dependency. Um, a response sounds plausible, aligns with their expectations, and fits kind of with the assignment, so it gets accepted without much any question at all. The danger is not that students believe the AI is right. The danger is that they stop caring where those ideas originate in the first place. So this step really kind of draws a hard line on that traceability of those sources. No claim stands on its own. Every meaningful assertion, must be traced back to the source, whether it's a data set, a text, a study, or a lived context that can be examined independently of that AI. Uh, this doesn't mean turning every assignment into, this full-blown research paper. It means kind of just normalizing that habit. Where did this come from? Where did it originate? When AI generates a response, students should be required to identify which claims need verifications, which ones feel generic, and which ones really demand evidence. If the AI provides citations, students should check them. We have all seen the fake sources, right? Um, if it doesn't, students should be asked to find supporting or contradicting sources themselves. This step reintroduces that friction that we've talked about so many times before in exactly the right place in the process in class. It slows the process down enough to force some type of evaluation. And it reminds students that fluency is not the same thing as grounding. Um, it really just teaches them that authority does not come from confidence, but from some real connection to reality. In practice, this can be simple. Ask students to annotate AI assisted drafts by labeling claims as one of three types: um, supported, questionable, or speculative. Um, we should require a short reflection explaining what they verified, what they rejected, and what they reframed in their own words. Kind of like we do, our normal research, um, almost akin to those annotated bibliographies we've done in the past. Over time, this builds something deeper than just citation skills, though. It builds epistemic responsibility. Students begin to understand that knowledge is not just produced, it's situated. It comes from somewhere and it carries assumptions, carries limitations and context. AI output becomes a starting point for investigation, not a substitute for ever, right? This step, it also quietly corrects a very dangerous misconception that AI knows anything, right? What students learn instead is that AI assembles language from different patterns, not truth from evidence. That's not how these models work. Truth still requires human effort, human judgment, and ultimately human accountability. If step one preserves authorship and step two, precision to reality, without it, you know, students risk drifting into a world of well written, unmoored, and untethered ideas. Um, However, with it, AI becomes what it should have been all along and can still be: a tool that accelerates inquiry without replacing that responsibility. Now, putting a much more detailed version of this up on the stack, and next time we'll talk about step 4. I'll see you then.